I decided to dress up like everyone else does. You know, people are out there dressed like Satan and witches, and they're dressed like every horrible thing under the sun. Well, I decided to dress up as something, the most horrifying thing I could think of, which is the black woman.
So this was posted by a school district's Facebook page out of Vail, Arizona. What does it look like to you?
We are live! We are live, baby! Yeah, I'm back from the dead, George Floyd!
You're offended? You're offended, but you're dressed up like a girl.
All right, guys. So Halloween was just this past Friday. And of course, everybody had to jump into the spirit. Costumes were everywhere, chaos everywhere. And the internet, the internet had a bunch of opinions. And apparently a few people crossed the line. You had people dressing up as bloodied Charlie Kirk, which obviously sparked outrage on the right. Then on the flip side, you had people like Gatis dressed up as an angry black woman. And honestly, I find it to be hilarious because there's a lot of truth to that costume, but we'll get into that. And here's the thing. Both sides are playing the same game. Conservatives are angry about the Charlie Kirk costumes. Meanwhile, the liberals, they're angry about the blackface and mocking George Floyd. Everybody's screaming about high moral ground, and nobody actually has one. So let's go deeper, because this isn't just about costumes. It's about hypocrisy, selective outrage, and how free speech seems to only apply when it flatters your side. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Carmen JC. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like or the subscribe button. Or if you want to support the channel, hit the super thanks or the buy me a coffee link below. Also, make sure you guys go ahead and drop a comment so we can stay in the algorithm. Plus, you guys know I love to hear what you guys have to say. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so let's start with this school out of Arizona. A group of school teachers thought it would be funny to dress up as school teachers for Halloween with the words "problem solved" on their shirts. And from what I can tell, they were all math teachers, and the shirts had fake blood dripping down the front. Now, as expected, people online completely lost it. Everyone immediately started connecting it to Charlie Kirk's assassination. And to be fair with what just happened, I understand why. Just looking at it, the blood dripping down on the left side and the black and white lettering, you can easily think that they're referencing that situation. So I see how people made that connection. But let's go ahead and take a listen to this gentleman explaining what actually happened. So go ahead and take a listen.
So this was posted by a school district's Facebook page out of Vail, Arizona. What does it look like to you? A lot of people are saying it's a group of teachers out of Cienega High School applauding or mocking the assassination of Charlie Kirk. It seems oddly coincidental that they are wearing white shirts with black writing, and the blood appears to be all on the same side that Kirk was shot. And the shirt says, "Problem solved." But here's a picture of them during Halloween of 2024 wearing the same exact thing with the same pattern. So this was the district's response to the backlash in a now deleted post where they said this was the members of their math department, and the problem solved was a reference to solving math problems. You'd think maybe one of them might say, "Hey, this looks an awful lot like it could mean something else." And sure, white shirts with black writing are very common. And the white would allow the colors to stand out a bit more, but did anyone think this through? Like, this could look like we're saying a different problem was solved.
So here's the thing. I get that the shirts might have triggered some people given what just happened to Charlie Kirk, but they wore the same shirts last year, which means that this wasn't about Charlie Kirk. Whether you found it insensitive or not, if it didn't offend anyone last year, it suddenly shouldn't offend people now because of the political climate has changed. However, if we're being honest, this is where the double standard comes in. If we're living in a country of free speech for all, then it has to be free speech for everyone. Yes, we might not like it, but they're allowed to do it. Now, there are some people who took it to the next level, but let's first take a listen to what Harry Sisson had to say about this. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
I'm seeing a lot of Republicans freak out over people dressing up as Charlie Kirk for Halloween. The Libs of TikTok, huge MAGA account on Twitter, said, "This is the mainstream view on the left." Not true. And let me just start by saying, I don't think people should be doing this. I don't think it's funny. I think it's quite tasteless. But where were all of the Republicans for all of the other offensive costumes? They will cry on social media about that. But I just covered a story the other day of this 33-year-old man in Georgia who dressed up like this and went to a college bar, got kicked out, and beat a woman on camera breaking her nose. Got arrested for it. And many of the people in the comments who are MAGA defended him or said, it's just a costume, it's just Halloween, he's just having fun. No. You don't get to have it both ways. There were no Republicans who were upset when people were dressing up as George Floyd or a police officer kneeling on somebody's neck. No Republicans were upset about that, but now they cry foul. The real answer is that nobody should be dressing up as anything I just showed you or mentioned. That's the real answer. But Republicans can't claim, oh, it's just comedy, it's just a costume one time, and then freak out for another.
Now, this probably will never happen again. I actually agree with him on this. Either nobody gets to do it or everybody does. You can't make rules based on who you like. And this is where I see hypocrisy, not just from the left, who are basically professionals at it, but from the right too. Case in point, the Young Republicans group chat that was leaked, there were racial slurs, disgusting comments, and talk that went too far, including gas chamber jokes, where Pearce even said that there were adults in the group, not just students. And yet silence. No one denounced it. Everyone thought it was edgy and funny. And before anyone says it wasn't violent, that doesn't make it right. It still was twisted behavior. Now flip it. Jay Jones' text messages leak, and suddenly everyone's calling for him to step down from his race for Attorney General of Virginia. And look, fantasizing about your political opponent's death is sick. There is no defending that. But let's be honest. If one is brushed off as free speech and the other is a mass outrage, that is hypocrisy. If one gets condemned, then they both should be. The standard has to be consistent. Now, to Harry's point on Aiden Ross' stream, you had a guy dressed up as George Floyd, and then there's another dressed up as Derek Chauvin, and they start tussling. People are laughing, and it was treated like a comedy bit. I'm going to go ahead and show you a clip of that. Go ahead and take a listen.
We are live! We are live, baby! Yeah, I'm back from the dead, George Floyd, nigga! Yeah!
What the fuck is going on, bro?
What the hell are you doing over here?
Oh, Derek Chauvin!
I'm Derek Chauvin.
Not again!
Hell no!
Now, obviously, people are going to find this offensive too. To Aiden Ross's credit, he didn't allow it to keep going. He let it run for a few seconds, but eventually he shut it down and was like, this is not cool. And honestly, I think that was the right thing to do. We shouldn't be mocking people like this, not on either side. And it's the same thing with the woman who dressed up like Donald Trump with a bullet hole in her head. It is disgusting. And in that case, it's not just offensive. It could be interpreted as a threat or promoting political violence. However, moments like these expose something deeper, the real problem in this country, the mental health crises, us being desensitized to death, and the fact that so many people find violence and tragedy entertaining. We've become a society that glorifies gore, laugh at trauma, and calls it content. And that right there, the lack of empathy, the normalization of mockery, is the real issue we should be talking about. All right, guys, so you guys know we have to talk about Lily Gatis. She dressed up as an angry Black woman for Halloween, and predictably, the internet lost its ever-loving mind. Outrage, think pieces, cancellation campaigns, rinse and repeat. Now, if you remember, Lily Gatis got popular doing this like trad wife style content. I don't know if she's married, but when she was doing her content, she ended up saying nigga in the, like, just casually, and people got her fired. Her followers end up multiplying, and now she's doubling down with the satire. Shocking. Now, personally, I'm indifferent because, to be honest, Black women are a major problem within the Black community. The attitude, the emotional immaturity, and the I don't need anyone mentality, it is toxic. And Lily's costume wasn't the insult, it was a mirror. And she knew it. She was testing boundaries, shifting the Overton window, basically saying what everyone else is too afraid to. Let's take a listen to her explaining why she did her costume. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
So last night was Halloween, as many people know. And I decided to dress up like everyone else does. You know, people are out there dressed like Satan and witches, and they're dressed like every horrible thing under the sun. Well, I decided to dress up as something, the most horrifying thing I could think of, which is the Black woman, which is a person who is angry and fed up that their EBT card has been declined, that their race card is no longer working in this new climate, and that they're not receiving the reparations that they think they deserve, despite the fact that they did not build this country, contrary to what they say all the time. And they are certainly not improving the country. They are actually doing everything in their power to destroy the country.
Now, I blame Black fatigue on this. You can be mad at them, or you can be mad for making people fatigue. A lot of people are tired of Black people. They're tired of the behavior. They're tired of it spilling over into their communities, and these are the results. Now, whether you agree with her or not, she has the right to express herself, period. People are calling her racist, fine, that's their opinion, but we can't keep letting emotions dictate what we allow to exist. The algorithm feeds on the outrage. Every time we explode, we promote the very thing we claim to hate. Same thing with Brittany Vitsy, half Black trolling the internet and what people call blackface. It's provocative, yes, but it is intentional, and all this does is feed more division. At some point, we've got to stop giving our energy to every single provocation. Not everything needs a protest. Sometimes the most powerful response is just none at all. This year, apparently every costume is offensive. You breathed wrong in October, and X is demanding an apology video. You got people in full blackface wearing prison suits, pretending to be inmates, and some even dressed up as cop. And yeah, I get it, it's offensive, but my question is simple. Who cares? Okay? I'm not wasting my time being mad at people who needs attention more than therapy. Everyone is shouting, this is disgusting, but no, one is actually fixing the actual problems in this country. And they have a right to do it. If you don't like it, match the energy. Dress up as a privileged liberal crying in a Starbucks. Equality. And then there's this other young woman who dressed in full blackface again, mocking black people with "Where's my food stamps" videos. I mean, she's trolling for attention. But we're going to go ahead and take a listen to her. So go ahead and take a listen.
Where the f my food stamps at, nigga? Y'all niggas hate black people for real. Where the fuck are they? Like, respect black women or else, nigga. How the f big one costs more but way less than my EBT, nigga?
Like I said, your response is everything. You can ignore it or you can amplify it. But understand, the more you react, the more power you hand over. And just when you think it couldn't get any dumber, comes a man dressed as a woman yelling at a woman for dressing as a Native American. You literally cannot make this stuff up. Watch how confused everyone is. Go ahead and take a listen.
You probably just mind your own fucking business. She's dressed as a Native American.
Are you trans? Is that a costume or is that how you are? Huh?
Do I look trans?
A little bit.
You look trans.
But it's also Halloween. I look trans?
I was just minding your own business. I'm not even talking to you. I don't give a fuck what you're talking.
You're offended? You're offended, but you're dressed up like a girl.
I have a beard. Do girls have beards?
Well, when they take hormones and shit, they get them.
I said what I have to say.
Yeah, you said it. Now you can go the fuck out of it.
She can talk for herself too, right?
She clearly doesn't want to because you're fucking disrupting her right. Just fucking
That's
walk
it.
down the
That's
street.
it. I will just fucking walk down the street.
Good, please.
Now, at this point, outrage has become performance art. Scroll past it, mute it, don't feed it. Even Julia Fox jumped in dressed up as a bloodied Jackie Kennedy. People cried. It was insensitive. I call it Tuesday on the internet. So I'm indifferent because honestly, most of this is people begging for relevance in the world where real substance is extinct. And quite frankly, a lot of people have the right to express themselves in whatever manner they want to. This is the beautiful thing about this beautiful country we live in. You can express yourself in whichever way you choose, you see fit. And if we just go by what people are outraged by, people wouldn't be able to do anything. They literally would be just having to be like, I don't think we'll be able to be cats and dogs because they'll be, that's offensive to cats. That's offensive to dogs. So we have to just allow people to be people. You don't have to support it. You don't have to like it, but you don't have to engage with it either. And I think that's the bigger picture here, whether you agree or not. Now, after seeing all of this, the fake plug, the Charlie Kirk mockery, the blackface, the gender bending statements, the desperate attempts to shock people, one thing is clear. This country is mentally exhausted. Halloween used to be fun. Now it's another political cage match. Everything's either racist, sexist, transphobic, or problematic. And yet none of this is making America stronger. Now, to be clear, I'm not defending poor taste. I'm defending consistency. Either everyone gets to express themselves or no one does. You don't get to pick and choose your moral outrage like a buffet. Now, me personally, I wouldn't wear blackface or mock someone's death, but I understand that not every bad joke deserves a meltdown. Half of these outrage mobs aren't even offended. They're auditioning for sympathy. This is the hypocrisy economy. One side screams free speech while banning jokes they don't like. The other side screams hate speech while mocking God, race, and tragedy. Neither side wants freedom. They want control. So what is the solution here? I would say it would be emotional discipline. Turn off the noise, scroll past stupidity. Don't feed attention to clowns. If you want to kill hypocrisy, stop performing for it. Because this Halloween didn't expose who's evil. It exposed who's emotionally fragile. The real costume wasn't blackface. It was fake outrage. I am Carmen JC. If you're new here, make sure you hit the like or the subscribe button. Or if you want to support the channel, hit the super thanks or the buy me a coffee link below. Also, make sure you guys go ahead and drop a comment for the algorithm. You guys know I love to hear what you guys have to say. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time.
I'm breaking chains, freeing minds, it's a time to rise. Conscious culture in my veins, yeah, we see through the lies. They telling stories, trying to mold what we thinking inside. But I'm cutting through illusions, showing truth worldwide. They trying to box us in, but we step out the line. Redefining who we are, no longer falling behind. I see the games they playing, how they shape our design. So I'm speaking for the thinkers who refuse to be blind.